What's up, everybody? It's Lifestyle Editor David Gray here with you on a Monday. Hope everybody had a great weekend, was able to stay dry with some of the weather that we had, and then also stay cool with some of the heat that we had this weekend. So let's dive right into it. Once again, I'm David Gray, lifestyle editor with the Livingston Parish News. You can find all of our daily content on our website, www.livingstonparishnews.com. We also share all of our stuff. Everything that comes out goes on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. We host a morning and afternoon show on Monday through Friday, and then we have a weekly podcast that we also record that goes on our website. The most recent podcast was with our editor, McHugh David, who discussed the upcoming election season, all the people who are running for local and state offices. So let's dive right into it. First of all, with your traffic updates, it looks like things are pretty good right now around 4:30 in Livingston Parish. Of course, you have traffic coming from Baton Rouge on I-12 going towards Hammond, but it doesn't look like it's reached Livingston Parish yet. You have a little bit of traffic, the normal traffic that builds up on Highway 190 close to Eden Church Road and Jubin Road, excuse me. Then you also have some traffic on LA 16, which is Range Avenue from Denham Springs to Watson. And it also looks like there's a little bit of buildup south of the interstate in Livingston on Highway 63. So just be on the lookout for that. And then we also have our weather, which comes to us from our friends at WVLA, NBC 33, and WGMB Fox 44. Right now, it's a little cooler than it's been recently. It's 80 degrees right now. It feels like 85. And right now, there's thunder. Be on the lookout. I mean, if you step outside, you can see that it's really gray and muggy outside. There was some heavy rain earlier today in Denham Springs. I know when I was doing some work that it came down for a good 20 or 30 minutes. But yeah, the rest of the forecast this week, it has thunderstorms, scattered thunderstorms, all kinds of thunderstorms, and then of course the heat. Looks like the rest of the week it's not going to get to the 90s, but of course, it might feel like it's actually 90 degrees even if it's less. But in some of the local news, if you saw last night, there was a stabbing in Denham Springs. The suspect in the stabbing has been caught. Jonathan Gyro, 30-year-old, was booked into the Livingston Parish Detention Center early this morning on aggravated second-degree battery, violation of protective order, and a bench warrant, according to the detention center records. And his bond was set at $20,000. The incident occurred Sunday around 3:30 p.m. at an apartment complex on LA 16 in Denham Springs. The victim in this, who was stabbed in the abdomen and was sent to the hospital in critical condition, was able to identify the suspect, and the authorities captured Gyro around 1 a.m., or excuse me, that was when he was booked into the detention center around 1 a.m., and there was no other details on his arrest, but there will be, rest assured, there will probably be more coming out of that, so be on the lookout. And some other sort of crime news: a Springfield man was sentenced to life in prison for a 2016 murder. Tony Johnson, a 21-year-old, was sentenced by Judge Robert Morrison in 21st Judicial District Court, District Attorney Scott Perilou said. And Johnson must serve the sentence without the benefit of probation, parole, or suspension of sentence. And this investigation began originally about 3 years ago in August 2016 when Ponchatoula police responded to a homicide, and they found a 19-year-old victim dead in the bedroom with an apparent gunshot wound to the head. And after an extensive search, the police were able to book Tony Johnson into the Livingston Parish Detention Center in February 2017, and so now it looks like he is going to spend the rest of his life in prison. Some other news, lighter news, there's going to LA 16 faces low lane closures for DOTD work. That most of that work's going to occur on LA 16 north of Denham Springs, closer to Watson. There will be lane closures over the next 4 days so that crews can work on the existing roadway from Fairlane Drive, which is near Leah's Tire and Automotive, north to the Lockhart Magnolia Beach Road intersection. Those lane closures will happen from Wednesday through Saturday. On Wednesday and Thursday, the road closure will be from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. And on Friday and Saturday, that'll be from 8 p.m. to 9 a.m. But one lane will remain open at all times, the OTD said. And if you want to avoid the conjunction zone, they also gave a couple of alternate routes, and I'll read those for you. Northbound motorists could take Florida Boulevard east to Burgess Avenue or LA 1027, then go north to Lockhart Road and west to LA 16. And then southbound motorists can take Lockhart Road east to Burgess Avenue, then go south to Florida Boulevard and west to LA 16. In other local city news, 2 public hearings are scheduled Monday before the Walker Planning and Zoning Commission at its regular meeting at Old City Hall. On the agenda, for the planning board is a public hearing on a request made by McDermott for a map showing a survey and division of 10 acres and division of 20 acres into lots A1, A2, and B at Industry Way in the Walker Industrial Park. Also on the agenda for the zoning board is a public hearing on a request by New Beginnings Baptist Church, which is requesting a variance to rear setbacks of the property to add 15 feet to the building. So that's kind of your news of the day. And our news reporter Kevin Famrose will be at the Walker City Council meeting tonight. So just be ready to hear what comes out of that tomorrow morning. And then switching to sports, it's kind of another light day in sports, but that's gonna be changing really soon. I mean, this scrimmages start this week with our parish football team. So I mean, you're gonna have sports action flying at you soon. We'll dive right into football and volleyball. And just a quick reminder that our special football section will come out next Thursday, August 29th. That will be available in newsstands wherever you can buy newspapers in Livingston Parish. It'll give a preview of the 5 football teams in the parish. You got the teams at Albany, Denham Springs High, Live Oak High, Walker High, and Springfield. So just be on the lookout for that. Our sports guys, William Weathers and Rob DeArmond, are on top of everything that has to do with sports in the parish, so there will be some great things coming out of that, rest assured. And then in lifestyle news over the weekend, there was a couple of fun events that our photographer Morgan Pruitt-Werther, was able to go to. She went to a Pelican State Credit Union 60th annual free kids bike race. That was just a community gathering that they hold at Abundant Life Church in Denham Springs, right next to the Walmart, or the Dome as they call it. Just a big community gathering that was free. Everything was free there. People were able to, the bike races were divided in different categories by age. It started with the older ones and went to the younger ones. And it was funny. I went over there for a little bit, and you see some of the kids fall down, but most of them got right back up. So without any screams or cries, I know I probably would have stayed down for an extra minute. But that was a good, not a lot of good photos at Morgan. She always gets great photos. And then later that night she went from Denham Springs to Satsuma for the Grand Country Junction's monthly show. And this month they had a real special guest, Brian White, who's a nationally known country singer from Oklahoma. He sings songs. He won Grammys, won CMA awards. He's written for Winona Ryder and Shania Twain. He's done a lot of work over the last 20-something years. He signed his first recording deal when he was 20 in 1994, and he's been putting out music ever since. So it was just a big show. She told me that it was a pretty packed house at the Suma Hall Community Center, and that's sort of what they're trying to do there. I talked to the director of the Grand Country Junction, Greg Sullivan, last week, and he said that's one of the things they're trying to do. They're trying to, of course, the focus is always going to be on the local talent that we have here in Livingston Parish, but they're also just trying to bring in some more nationally known acts, just to bring some more music, more variety, and more entertainment to the parish. And then my feature of the day was, and you'll be able to find this will be the front page of the lifestyle section this week, was on the Denham Springs High School STEM and Robotics Center. It's the new satellite campus at Denham Springs High, where students are going to be able to learn. They're going to be able to learn a lot in science, technology, engineering, and math, and that's pretty much how everything is going now. It's gearing towards those subjects. So they have over 300 students enrolled in grades 9 through 12, and what happens is the students they go over there in 90-minute blocks. They get bussed over down the road from Denham Springs High School to the new STEM Center campus, which is actually the old Southside Elementary campus, which, as many of you know, was flooded in the August 2016 floods. And they were able to salvage two of the buildings from Southside Elementary, and they turned those buildings into this new STEM center. And I mean, it was I remember going there the first day of school, and Michael Simmons, the director of the STEM Center, he was just so excited. He told me he hadn't even sat down for a minute because he was just visiting all the classrooms as the teachers were talking to their new students and just sort of talking about some of the things they're going to be able to do. And not only are students going to be able to take these advanced or these different courses, they can also work towards certifications at LSU. Some of the classes they'll be able to get college credits at LSU, and part of the reason behind that is Simmons said he wants to they want to prepare students who might not be going to college. Like everybody knows, college isn't for everyone, and there's nothing wrong with that. Some people decide to go to college, some people decide to dive right into the workforce. So at the STEM Center, they can work towards certifications that will enable them to be able to get step into some high-paying jobs as soon as they graduate, instead of having to start at fast food or something. Which is nothing wrong with that, but if you can start off making more money right away, why wouldn't you? So that will be the feature this week. So be on the lookout for that. And like I said, let's go through everything once again, all your traffic, and yeah, it looks like it's pretty much the same as it was a little bit earlier. You got your traffic on Highway 190 in Livingston Parish, near the Eden Church Road and Jubin Road and Denham Springs. You have some traffic on Highway 16 or Range Avenue from Denham Springs to Walker, and then a little bit of traffic building up on Highway 63 just off the Livingston exit 22 on Interstate 12. And then if you're coming from Baton Rouge, you know that there's always going to be traffic there. So it looks like it's kind of stopping right now before Sherwood, but it'll probably build up more as time goes on. Right now, it's 80 degrees, feels like 85, and yeah, it's been raining today, so just be on the lookout. Drive extra careful today with this weather like this. If you step outside, it's gray and muggy, and they're projecting more scattered thunderstorms the rest of the week. And that weather update comes from our friends at WVLA NBC 33 and WGMB Fox 44. So we want to thank them for that, and give them a like and share as well. We have this partnership with them, and we want to help each other spread the news. So that's what this is about. So once again, like I said, I'm lifestyle editor David Gray with Livingston Parish News. You can find all of our content daily at www.livingstonparishnews.com. We have 2 print editions that come out each week, one on Thursday and the other on Sunday. And you can also find all of our content. We share everything on our social media platforms. It's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. We have a morning and afternoon show that comes out Monday through Friday, and then we have a weekly podcast. So y'all have a great week.